And in high school over here, the education is so tough. Is it started? Is it recording started? Oh, so we'll start the business. It's on briefly. So welcome everyone. Today we are going to talk about the happy planet. Let's see what we remember from the last session. Do you remember anything from the last session? Parts and parts of it. God. God. If your Atma is Paramatma, your Jiva is Ishwar. Very nice. Wow, you're a big hand. Anybody else remembers anything from the story of that over? That was last time. Story of that movie. Yeah, that was also nice. So the exciting part is God is also a person. Now, as sorry, light and person, you said last time. God appears at three levels, and the three levels are, think of it like, have you seen Chennai Express? Yeah. Ah, good job. Have you seen the Narsimha movie that came out recently? Okay, good. Equal marks. So, in a nice village setting like that, Chennai Express, where the train comes from far off, people want to know whether the train is on time. So, what do? They put their ears on the patri, railway karu, and they feel the vibration. Now they know that train is far away, but it's coming. So, the evidence that train exists and it is there and it is coming is there by feeling the vibration. Then the train shows up, but it is like a dot far away. But now it is a visible experience that now it is vibration. Now it is a physical experience of seeing it and saying that, oh wow, train exists and it's coming. And there comes a time when the train stops in front of you in the village railway station. Now you can touch the train, you can feel the train, you can climb up into the train, and then you can travel with the train. So three levels, right? So that's like experiencing the train at three levels. Now I'll give you second example. Second example um, is does sun exist? Right? Like the first evidence is when we wake up and we see some light outside. Okay, it is daytime. How do we know it is daytime? Because I can see light outside. Have I seen sun yet? No. But there is light outside. It was dark yesterday, right? Now there is light outside. First level of evidence that it is a day and sun exists. The second level of exploring the existence of sun is we step outside on a sunny day, not Seattle day, sunny day, and we see a bright round disk in the sky, very effulgent. We can't even see it unless it is sunrise or sunset. We cannot even see properly. But okay, second evidence, direct perception. I can see sun, right? So second level. The third level of experience is if magically, if we can travel to the sun planet. Now one may say, "Oh Ganesh, we'll just burn out." Then my question is there life on sun? What is your answer? Can somebody survive on the sun? No, no, no. Ah, in the current body we cannot. Why? Earth has 70% water. We also have 70% water in our body. So our body is made for the earthly planet. But on the sun, which is made out of Agni as the primary element, there are people who are made out of flame bodies who live on the sun. And there is a Surya Narayan Devata, which is a presiding deity and the king of that planet. So magically, if we are able to go in a flame body to go see Sun Surya Devata, then we can take darshan also. So that means sun can also be experienced at three levels. One is you open your eyes and look outside your room and say, yeah, it's there. I can't see it, but it's there. Second level is go out and see. I can see it. It's there. And third level is go and personally meet and say, nice to meet with you. So God also can be experienced at three levels. The first level is vibration. That is just the Shabda Brahman, the Brahman that we talk about. Just through meditation, through frequency, we realize the existence of something higher and a paranormal experience. First confidence that, there is something beyond just this body and I'm eating. There is something more than that. So you realize God at a Brahman level. And as per scriptures also, God appears at three levels. So at Brahman level, which is the Sat feature of the Lord. In spiritual world or spiritual form, we have three dimensions to our existence. Sat, Chit, Ananda. So the Sat feature, Sat means eternal. Just by knowing I'm not this body, I'm spirit, and we know God is also spirit, and He's made out of spirit, we are made out of spirit. So by nature we are same. So we're too small and God is unlimited. So now Sat means existing forever. So we can realize through Brahman the eternal existence of God and us also. First level of realization. Most of the yoga schools will quickly bring you to that level. Say that, okay, I'm not this body, I'm eternal, I'm spiritual, and start enjoying that. Right? Mostly pranav mantra or om is used to invoke the spiritual presence. In Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, the mantras, I am that pranav mantra. Right? Amongst the planets, I'm sun planet. He gives you a lot of examples of anything beautiful you see, anything powerful you see. It's basically a reflection of my opulences. So now Sat part we got it. Just like the train, just like sun, God can also be experienced at first level. And some people are more curious. Then they'll go deep into the meditation techniques and they want to experience Lord at next level. The next level is Paramatma level. Like I showed you, the size of Paramatma in our heart is this size. So take your hand, show me this position. So not like this. Put this last finger in and pull this out like this. This is the size of your Paramatma. Srimad Bhagavatam. And you have it now. So in which you have four-handed Vishnu form with all the Shankha, Gada, Chakra, everything present in our heart in that form, in that size. And that's the interesting part that God can be experienced at a Paramatma level. So some people will do the meditation to realize God at a Paramatma level. Right? Hello, Buddhi Mataji. So, so now that is next level. So you experience God at Sat level. Now next is Sat and Chit. Chit. Chit means what? Being aware, knowledge. Ah. So Sat, Chit, Ananda, Vigraha. At four levels, four dimensions we exist. Four dimensions God also exists. We are Anu, God is Vibhu. Anu means we are very small. God is unlimited. So we experience at Sat level, then we experience at Chit level. Chit level means knowledge. Now Paramatma, Srimad Bhagavatam says, what is the job of Paramatma? Upadrushta Anumanta cha. Upadrushta means we say, right? I'm watching you. Especially kids will tell you, I'm watching you. So Upadrushta, overseer, means he's watching all our activities. Past, present, future also knows. And he's allowing, Anumanta. Mommy, can I go out and play? So Paramatma allows us to do things. And I explain you, I think, the architecture of our body where I want to raise my hands, and what really happens is the Paramatma senses the soul's desire to raise the hand and allows the demigods to lift that hand. So the Atma does not have direct control over the body. Think of it like you are in a crane, nice big crane, that JCB that does the job, but you don't have the remote. What will you do? Without remote control, you cannot operate it. You can just sit in it. So Atma can just sit in the body and no control over the body. But the Paramatma is the agency that allows you to control the body through devatas. So really speaking, it is not in our control. So what Paramatma does? Paramatma will check the karma balance, saying that does Gauranga Chandra Das have enough credits to lift his hand, then the hand goes up. Because the Devata he's sitting in the heart of me, he's also sitting in the heart of you, he's also sitting in the heart of Devatas. So fast internet. He will immediately pass the message and that Devata will lift the hand. These Devatas are controlling our whole body. So that's why when some people have this lakwa, what is it called? Paralysis or something? So if the hand is like this, now the soul has desire to lift the hand, but the hand is not listening. What happened? Karma balance is over. So smallest activity that we do is basically coming from the permission of Lord. हर जर्रा चमकता है अनवार इलाही से. So basically, even people who do not know anything also know that much that God controls everything. Right? So now the whole idea is now we learn the Sat feature, now we learn the Chit feature. Chit is aware, knowledge, Upadrushta, Anumanta. That is a Paramatma. So a lot of yogis, they have meditation techniques which are totally focused on God's presence in our heart. Right? And then we generally say that, right? भगवान आपके भी दिल में है, हमारे भी दिल में है, सबके दिल में है. Hare Krishna. So the whole idea is to realize God at, okay, God does exist and is eternally there. And in the energy form, God is everywhere. Everybody says that. Energy, God is everywhere. That's very non-confrontational acceptance of God at every level. The second thing is now how much God exists everywhere. God exists in the galaxies, God exists in the atoms also, and God exists in the subatomic particles, and then God exists in the space between the subatomic particles also. The reason iron works like iron and uranium works like uranium because there is a form of Vishnu that makes it behave that way. That you are supposed to be like a uranium, and you are supposed to be like a iron. So God is enforcing that. So God is there at subatomic level, God is there at galaxy level, and for God, nothing is too small, nothing is too big. Because we saw the laws of nature get governed at a subatomic level, the laws of nature get governed at a galaxy level also. So it is amazing, right? This what does this remind us of? Fibonacci series design, right? So it is there at very small levels, it is there in our hands, bones, and it is there at a galaxy level, it is in sunflower, it's everywhere. So we learned first level, what is it? Sat. In the light form, God is everywhere. Chit. God knows everything. At the Paramatma level, I can only know if my leg is hurting. You wouldn't know my leg is hurting, but God will know that. As a Paramatma, He's sitting in my heart, He's sitting in everyone's heart. He knows our past, He knows our future, present, and He knows our future. Now, all of you are smart people, you should ask this question: if I have freedom to do what I want to do, but God already knows my future, where is my freedom? Do you understand? If I have free will, that means I can do whatever I want to do. How does God know? Because if God already knows it, how it is my free will? Can somebody answer me? I'll pack up the class right now. Class is over. You get certificates. You get promoted into the next class. Just answer this one question for me. See, WhatsApp University, YouTube University, ignorance, ChatGPT University, Grok University. Everything is there. Ignorance. We think we have free will. Okay, we don't have free will, you're saying? Okay. Raise your hand if you agree with him. We don't have free will.
That we don't have.
That we don't have free will, he's saying.
We have.
Okay, so there is no agreement on we don't have free will. So there is a free will. Do we have unlimited free will? Yeah. So Elon's free will size is different than my free will size. Right? I can buy a house, buy a car. Maybe I can buy a Tesla. That is my free will. Elon's free will is different. I want to buy Twitter. That is his free will. $40+ billion.
Because you are tied to a tree.
With a rope. And the length decides the free will.
And you are free to go like.
Yeah, around the tree.
Ultimately, you are moving towards So you
Yeah.
think you are free in that sense, but God is ultimately freeing you towards. I mean,
So you are free, but not unlimitedly free. Yeah, very good. Very good answer. That's a good one. So we learned the Sat feature, we learned the Chit feature, which is Sat Chit means aware. And the next level is Sat Chit Ananda, happiness. So if we realize God at the third level, which is the highest, God as a person, now we can connect with God and we can be happy. There is happiness all along, but the highest happiness is at the third level. So if watching a movie gives you say X% happiness, then multiply it only million times. That is the happiness in the Swarga Loka, where you are living in a body that does not give you these daily troubles, and lots of everybody around you is healthy, happy, just like coming to UW. Everybody is happy, healthy, intelligent, beautiful, all of that, right? So now multiply UW million times, that is Swarga Loka. Now you take the Swargaloka, multiply it zillion times, right? As you go higher lokas, Brahmaloka is the top, the happiness gets multiplied. But still you are in the physical world. Then if you go into Brahman, which is a cloud energy between the spiritual world and physical world, right? Over there, in between, that energy cloud will give you zillion times of happiness compared to Swargaloka, which is more happy. But if you are in personal touch with Lord in the spiritual world, exchanging services, exchanging relationship, that is the highest. There is no upper to that. It's like max that a Atma can enjoy. Now, typically, what was the famous statement by Mr. Tilak from Pune during Indian freedom fight? Anybody remembers? Swaraj is my birthright and I will grab it. Right? So what is Swarajya? I will rule myself. I don't need somebody else to rule my country. Ultimately, he's asking for freedom. Freedom from who? Somebody else telling him what to do. So, right now, in this body, we also saw that our free will is so limited. The Atma, which technically can fly anywhere, is stuck in a body. An Atma, who should not be worried about the instabilities of life because Atma is eternal, has to buy N kinds of insurances. If we just collect all the insurances we buy, that's huge money because of instability. So Atma is living a very underprivileged life in the body, right? What it really deserves is very high. So just like Tilak said, I want my freedom and that's my birthright. Being born as a human being, it is also our birthright to free ourselves of material presence and get into the spiritual presence. That is our birthright. And what Bhagavad Gita teaches you is how to get to that. Bhagavad Gita is like your travel guide. The travel guide says, oh, you want to go to Bali, Indonesia, you go to SeaTac, you take Singapore Airlines. From there, you take another flight to Bali, you reach there, right? So, any travel plan needs few components. One is, where am I? Where do I want to go? What experience I want on the way? What experience I want there? And what is the price I'm willing to pay? So, Bhagavad Gita also tells you that do you want to go to Swarga? Do this. Do you want to go to Sadashiv Loka? Do this. You want to go to Ayodhya Dham in the spiritual world? Do this. You want to go to Ganpati Loka? Go. If you want to just go to Brahma Loka, do this. That Krishna says in 7th chapter that if you come to my world, my abode, you have to never come back. Why? Because these universes go through um, periodic destruction. And hence, you don't want to be in an unstable situation. You want to be in an eternal. So Sat feature, right? If I am Sat, also my location should be Sat also, na? I cannot be like thrown around, kicked out, check out, get out, right? We just came and all the kids were kicked out of the Terry building by fire brigade saying that you cannot enter because fire drill was going on. So basically, somebody kicks you out all the time. We don't have a choice, right? I'm not even talking about H1B and all that. So So we are in a very underprivileged life that we're living, in spite of the talent, in spite of education, in spite of hard work, in spite of honesty. We're living very underprivileged life because we are part of a body right now. We are not part of the body. We are stuck within a body. Sat feature, Chit feature, then personal feature of the Lord, which is Bhagwan, which is the actual presence, which is personality form, and that is why Vigraha. Sat Chit Ananda Vigraha. So Krishna's body is made out of these four components. Our body is also made out of these four components in the spiritual world, right? The original presence. We are subdued, we're living a subdued life because we are living the life through this body. Just like you go scuba diving and now you're wearing a gear, now you have to live within that gear and breathe according to that gear and you have to follow the rules of that gear. Why? Because we chose to get into that scuba dive gear. Like that, this is a gear that is given to us. And did you see Avatar movie? In Avatar movie, there was this concept of humanoid robots, very huge. Inside that is a real person sitting and controlling. So, like that, the Atma is sitting over there and saying, "Hey, Paramatma, I want this. Hey, Paramatma, I want that." And this human body is doing some things, and we realize that I'm doing it. I'm doing it. Nah, you are only desiring. The fulfillment comes through Mother Nature and the architecture that is set up. Clear? So that was the last class. Now we'll start today's class. Questions? Okay. Now these classes build layer by layer. If you have missed previous classes, we have the recordings online, but I'm happy to send them again in a playlist. All right. So next class. So today's class is what? Okay, I learned Atman Atma. I learned God exists. I learned, you know, as per Bhagavad Gita, Krishna is God. I learned God is unlimited. I learned I am limited. That is fine. I am still unhappy. I'm still paying my bills. I'm still worried about my insecurities of life. I'm still stressed because of people hurting me. There are still problems. Every day I open newspaper, I feel there is so much of pain in this world. What do I do about it? Right? That's what we're going to look at it today. अभी क्या करने का? What is next? Yes. So where we are, the miserable material world, first level, and then there is a दुनिया बनाने वाले क्या तेरे मन में समाई काहे को दुनिया बनाई, right? That's the first miserable material world. Dukkhalayam ashashvatam. We enter this world in spite of knowing that it can be painful because we have free will. The biggest free will we can use in life as Atma, eternal Atma, is do I want to be in service to Lord? Do I want to cooperate with the whole? Or do I want to be rebellious with the whole? So, like I told you, this finger is unlimitedly valuable. I can give unlimited cash to keep it intact. But if I cut it and put it on the table, it is nothing more than fertilizer, right? Somebody will throw it in the dustbin and it will rot, and those natural elements will mix into the nature, and it's just plant food after some time. So, if you're connected with the whole, very valuable. When you're disconnected, you are on your own. And that's what we are living a life of being on our own, like a stray dog. The stray dog, no medical insurance, no immunization, no guarantee for food, has to defend the dog's life against other dogs, against everything else, totally on their own. Looks like they are free, but there is no guarantee what is their future. But if you look at, another billionaire walking in the Hyde Park in the New York with his dog, right? Wow, the dog is so well polished, gone through the, I would say, what is it? Saloon for the dogs, pet care, right? Polished, groomed, nicely massaged, and then given all kinds of special foods, Petco. So, and with all the treatment, the dog is like fully healthy and walking nicely and looking everywhere as if I own this park. And every time they sees another dog wants to bark, and the owner says, "No, no, don't." It's like, yeah, only because you are saying, otherwise, no, usko to abhi, right? So that the dog is enjoying such a good life, and the owner is walking the dog, and the dog feels like कल बहुत खाना खाया था ज़्यादा ज़्यादा पनीर खिलाया, and the dog wants to do potty, and the owner with gleefully, that billionaire who have 1,000 people working for him, will take out the glove, gently pick it up, and then nicely tie it down and carry it like a trophy, saying that my dog, right? What is the main thing? The dog wants to be loyal to the owner. What does the dog give other than that? Is the dog giving massage to the owner? No, the dog is not producing any other happiness than number one thing, loyalty. So if we repose our loyalty from I want to be happy to I want to be happy with communism or capitalism or thisism, thatism, all kinds of other loyalties, to say, no, I want to be loyal to God. I want to reconnect with God. I want to be happy with God. God is my shelter. If we try to accept that, first thing is God will fast track that process. Why? Originally, we were in the spiritual world. Using our free will, we came away. We realized this is not a happy experience. We do want to go back. God will facilitate all the journey of coming back. Just like there was this little village where there was a young 18-year-old son. The first thing the son notices, in my village, everybody is respecting my dad. Everybody is treating my dad so nicely and offering gifts and everything. And basically, I want to get respect. I want to be the man of the house. I want to be on my own. So he walks up to his dad and says that, oh, dad, please give me my share of wealth in the family. I want to go and establish on my own. And dad says, Sonny, everything is going so well. Why do you want to separate? Why do you want to go and start on? There are so many dangers. The son says, no, no, I want to start on my own. And Papa says, okay, here is your $10 million. You want to be separate? Because I love you, I respect your desire to be away from me. Because if I don't love you, I can just force you to be with me. But because I love you, I want to give you the choice. Like all of us came away from our home in India because our parents loved us. Out of love, they gave us the freedom to go explore your life. I want you to become happy. And what did we say? Thank you. I'll use your money. I'll use your knowledge, and I will go and try to become happy away from you. Same thing. Now, this son comes to the town. When you have $10 million, you have a lot of friends. And what do the friends do? They help you spend that money. Right? So until he spent $10 million, he had a lot of friends. One fine day he was broke. Suddenly, there is this one guy in South India who became extremely poor, wrote a poem saying that I have developed a siddhi, and the siddhi is I know how to become invisible. Right? It's probably one of the alwars or somebody. I have become invisible. Now my same old friends walk by me and they see through me. They don't see me. They see through me because I have become invisible. So if I don't have money, I become invisible to my friends. Do you understand? So that's the whole idea that the son comes, loses his money, then he loses his friends. Now he has to go find a job. And he's not so well educated. So what to do? So he's doing silly work here, silly work there. Finally, he approaches a farmer. The farmer has 1,000 sheep. Sheep is Baba black sheep, right? He says, the farmer says, I think I know your father, so I'll give you a job. Your job is go and clean up after all the ships. They do their business in the morning. They also droppings. You have to clean up all the droppings. What will I give you? I'll give you do jodi kapda, means 2 pairs of clothes a year, and I'll give you food and a place to sleep. Right? Um, on Netflix, there is a movie about a South Indian guy goes to Dubai and gets stuck in Arab world in that situation. Um, I don't know the name now, but you can look it up. So now what happens? Every day he's cleaning after all the ships and he's getting his food. It starts at night, he's thinking, my dad used to keep me so happy. He used to give me brand new clothes for every festival. There was unlimited food in the house. Before I sneeze, he would call the doctor. Everything was so perfect. And I was feeling guilty about going back to my father because I am the one who said I want to go away. So he writes a letter to his dad saying that I am sorry. I made a mistake. I want to come back. And he gives a date and time, and the father is so happy. He pulls together the bullock carts and all that, and a musical tea when they all come to the boundary waiting for him and playing the music again and again. And he goes and hugs his dad, and the dad takes him home, feeds him nicely, gives him a nice bath shower, whatever, new clothes. That is our story. We by choice came away. The first life we enjoyed was that of Lord Brahma. Didn't take a U-turn, did not go back. Then we were Indra, the king of gods. All apsaras are there. We didn't take a U-turn. We did not go back to Lord. Then we were human beings. After that, God knows what we have become. Frog, earthworm, you name it. Every species of life that is possible, I have possibly lived through that. So now we are back in the human life again. We have a chance. Human life means like an airport. You can catch a flight. The flight we can catch, we can take us back to spiritual world. A flight we can take us to Patala, Talatala, Sutala, or hellish planets. Given in the fifth canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, you can read all the hellish planets. So we can take flight wherever we want. The free will is again applicable. Just like you go into Disneyland. In a Disneyland, what happens? You can go to this Wild Waves also locally cheap. So you are in a ride. The first thing that happens in the ride is that belt opens and you can go sit. Now you can still get out, but you say no, I want to continue. Then that belt gets tightened up and then they take you for a ride. Dadadam, dadadam, dadadam. You know? And then you come back, the ride stops, the belt opens. You have a free will to get out. No, it will come back again. Again, you go for another ride. Human life is when that belt is open. You can get out. Like I learned this in Vipassana Buddhism, a nice story. That there's a blind man in a village, and the village has walls and just one opening, and this guy has some itch on his hand, itchy hand, you know. So what happens? The some sage in the village says, just where that boundary ends, the wall ends, there's a gate, and that where that gate is, you walk straight. There's a small hill. On the small hill, there is only one tree at the top, and that on that tree there are leaves. If you apply those leaves, your itch will go away. So go. This blind man, he doesn't have a choice. So what he'll do? He'll keep walking until he hits the wall, and then keeps hugging the wall to find the open door. The idea is wherever there is an opening, that is the only exit. Small hill, tree, leaves, it will go away. Now, as he is walking through, the blind guy, he's also itching. Exactly, and he keeps walking. And when the door comes, that time his itch gets really hard. So he's itching and walking, and then finally itch is little over, and then he touches the wall again. Oh, what happened? He missed the door. So now he has to go the whole loop again to find the same door again because he's still looking for that. Human life is like that. Our little itch of enjoying keeps us away from spiritual life. Spiritual life is not very hard, but that little itch, that skin disease, I am this body, I want to enjoy my body. That keeps us in the loop forever. How much forever? 8.4 million species of life. In Hindi, it is 84 laksha yoni. And every life is a life of different experiences that we wanted. Oh, I want to swim. Okay, become a fish. I want to crawl. Okay, become a crab. I want to fly. Become a bird. Right? Like that. We're clearing our karma of various things. Come back to the human life again. Option A, go back. Option B, stay here. Option C, go down. We can choose. So that is the life we are in. And we are going to show you today A, B, C, D, E formula to get out of here. And it is deceivingly simple. Deceivingly simple. But it is not easy. Because if it was easy, then 7, 8 billion people on the earth would be doing it. So it's not easy. But it is deceivingly simple. At least इतना easy कैसे हो सकता है? Like for blood pressure, I'm supposed to take allopathic medication for life. How can this little small pill from Patanjali can cure it? नहीं हो सकता है. No, इतना easy नहीं हो सकता. I need complex treatment. So for complex people, there are complex philosophies available, right? So let's dive into the syllabus today. We are going to a little fast. Tomorrow I'm traveling. I'm available to you on WhatsApp when you have questions, when you hear recordings and all that. And this closes the DYS session as such, the Discover Yourself. You are graduating today and you are getting promoted to the next level, which is the game. Gita made for everyone. It is something. Right? That's the next classroom. All right. So next. Any questions so far? Do you agree that we are in a miserable place compared to being a soul in the spiritual world? There are different types of opulences. Okay. So old is like what? Sukhawa angur. Now, I must give you some insight. Who makes all these PowerPoints? The brahmacharis in Pune. These are the monks who are IITians. They can become Satya Nadella. They can become Sundar Pichai. And they choose to become Gauranga Prabhu. You can look him up. And the whole idea is, hey Baba, don't get married. This life is so useless. It's temporary. Take spiritual life fully. Don't get married. Become a monk and go back to the spiritual world. That is the message. That's why, this angur and all that, dried up angur, kya, how useless. Don't go for it. Please come. So the beauty of this world cannot be forever. Next. Also, Prabhu Harish. There's a movie. Yeah, please. Little gross warning.
I wish to narrate one short story that one man, one boy, was attracted by a beautiful girl. So the girl does not agree, and the boy persistent. So in India, of course, the girls they keep their chastity very strict. So the girl was not agreeing, so she said, "All right, I agree. After 1 week, you come." Is he appointed such and such time he come. So the boy was very glad. And the girl took some bargain throughout the 7 days. And she was passing stool day and night and vomiting. And she kept all these vomits and stool in a nice spot. So when the appointed time came, the boy came and the girl was sitting on the door. The boy inquired, "Where is that girl?" She said, "I am that girl." No, no, you are so ugly. You are so beautiful. You are not that girl. No, I am that girl. But I have now separated my beauty in a different form. What is that? She told, this is the beauty, the stool and vomit. This is the ingredient. Actually, anyone may be very robust or very beautiful. If he passes stool for 3 or 4 times, everything changes.
You young boys and girls, do you still want to get married? That's the whole idea. Human body is such a gross thing that in 12th standard, when we are doing this frog dissection, first time in science, a lot of us faint actually. They keep stretchers ready. And in the medical school, first time they open the human body, again they keep stretchers ready because a lot of students will faint. And once you open the skin, because they say beauty is skin deep for a reason, you open the skin, inside it is all gross, right? The intestines and fat and body organs. There is no beauty there. The beauty is only perceived because the Cupid hits an arrow and makes you believe somebody else is beautiful. And for that perceived beauty, which is under a hypnosis of Cupid, that's what the whole Bollywood, Tollywood, Mollywood is chasing after. So, yeah, next. Next. So body, at a body level, basically one thing is guaranteed: trouble, trouble, and more trouble. But at Atma level, if we are as a Atma, if we go back to the spiritual world, there are only good things waiting for us. Because Atma, by definition, is what? Sat, Chit, Ananda, Vigraha. Sat, eternal in nature, no insurance required. Right? Chit, knowledgeable, no need for social media, WhatsApp, ODMI, Chat, GPT, Grok, nothing is required. The soul already knows. Sat, Chit, Ananda. By definition, the soul is happy. Okay? If the soul is by definition happy, then body by nature is dead, soul by nature is happy. So when we are unhappy, who is really unhappy? Any guesses? How do we become unhappy in the first place? Okay, one option. Any other? Isn't it confusing? The body by nature is dead. If the Atma leaves, you kick the body also, nothing will happen. Right? But the soul by nature is always happy. It cannot become unhappy because, I mean, how can salt become sugar, right? Sat Chit Ananda Vigraha. It is also by definition happy. So a by definition happy soul, by constituency, is becoming, or we as Atma, stuck in a body, are going through pain and all the emotions. Any guesses? One liner. Mind is one answer, but
because of desires.
it's okay. You have desires, but why you are becoming unhappy? The soul is supposed to be just happy. कैसा हुआ? Separation from the Lord are also emotions that you can enjoy also. See, separation, can you imagine? Most of the popular songs in Bollywood are the love songs written in the mood of separation. You remember any famous ones you remember? At least from the days when I used to watch vehemently. Kishore Kumar, or there's a Dil movie, Amir Khan and Madhuri Dixit. Like, they are really crying vehemently, and it's like everybody's like, let's go watch that movie. That's really good. You'll cry for 3 hours. So what happened? Separation. If you really love someone, just remembering them in their absence also can give you a certain type of pleasure. Although externally you are looking unhappy, but internally you are relishing that relationship of remembering that person in the mood of separation. So just separation will not make us. I mean, it looks like you're unhappy, but internally, at a soul level, you could be enjoying your separation if you are in love. Right. Okay. So what? So I'll. Yeah.
Because Ahankar, arrogance.
Hmm.
Like,
So there is something that happens before that. The Atma believing that I am body go through an illusion of becoming unhappy. So the more the Atma believes that I am this body, the more pain. To the level Atma believes I am not this body, it is not my problem, right? Then there is no pain. How? Did I tell you the story of a fisherman who jumps into the water? No. So here is a fisherman who goes for fishing at night, and suddenly the storm hits and the waves are like, meters high. He's a very good swimmer and he's not too far from the shore, he knows. All he wants in the middle of the night is know which way is the land, which way is villages. So he starts looking at which way is the village, and finally he sees some light or spark coming from one direction. He says that must be the land. Just jumps off the boat. He knows the boat is going down anyways. Starts swimming vehemently through the stormy waves, reaches the shore, house is on fire. And the house lady is crying vehemently, saying that, Mera ghar, mera ghar, mera ghar. And she walks, and that is his wife actually. So he walks up to her and says that, why are you crying? Be happy. Because the house is burning, I am alive. So one moment before it was a pain. Now he says, "How many houses you want? I'll give you houses." Being alive, Sir Salamat to Pagdi Pachas. So this, when I say I'm this body, then every problem is my problem. Oh, I'm born in Maharashtra and you don't speak Marathi. I have a big problem. Why? The more I believe I'm this body, I have a big problem here. Then I'm born from a certain culture. That culture is very important. We do things like that. Or somebody insults India or Indians. Arey, how dare you do that? Twitter will get flooded with like counter messages. And not just India, any country, any culture, as long as people are at a body level, they'll keep fighting like dogs on very small things because I am this body, Baba. But when we say I am not this body, I am Atma, now we can see the same spark of life and spark of God's presence in everything. Yes, Bodhi Mataji.
I just want to understand. So, in a practical sense, how does one really separate the concept of we are in an illusion that um,
I am this
we
body.
are this body, but in theory, we know after this conversation that
Right.
a soul is happy. But in a practical sense, we have a duty to perform functions which will have pain as a result of it.
So,
Because,
how do I balance my spiritual life and body life?
yeah, believing that, eventually we are happy because of the fact that we are connected to God. So we are it actually a happy individual.
Right,
But
right, right.
because of that illusion, we are now believing that whatever is happening with us is actually real. And we are actually feeling that pain.
Mm.
An example being, we look at some somebody who's poor and they don't have food to eat, and we feel that pain, that there is actually pain in this world. It's real to us,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah.
So how do we actually balance this in a practical sense? Um,
Yeah, very good. You have the right question. Give her a big hand. Come to the spiritual class every week because that's what we teach in the class. How to balance. Now that you learn something, you know who you are. You are that eagle who can fly 1,000 miles in the air, but then we're still going like a chicken saying the caw, 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 caw. Slowly, we need to be trained from not being a chicken but being an eagle. And that's not a 1 minute job. Maybe it is a training that we go through. So every week we come over here and understand what Bhagavad Gita is trying to tell us. And then we try to live life as per Bhagavad Gita. And there are practical problems we will face. So not only Prabhupada gave us the Bhagavad Gita in the original form, but he also gave us an organization that allows us to practice it in a very practical sense, right? Because the number one thing that is required is paradigm shift of not being this body. You have that key now. How many times you will use that key? It works. It works. And it works every time. But there is a training required on how to be practical, right? You will say, "Oh, I am Atma. This tiger is also an Atma. Let me go hug the tiger," right? And the tiger will say, "Thank you for the lunch." And I'm very grateful. So, time, place, and circumstances, we have to be practical. That is why not only we give education, but senior teachers in ISKCON are also available as life coaches to walk you through situations of life so that you can smoothen out the life a little bit so that you can focus on God. The whole idea is so that we can focus on God, right? Okay, does that help?
Yeah.
Awesome. Next. Ah. So the relationship between the spiritual world and this world is like what? 15th chapter, right? 15th first. Urdhva Mula Adha Shakham. So next one. Spiritual world is like a tree on the bank of the river. So what really happens is material world is a reflection of the like that tree in the water. So what happens? Even if you see mangoes over here, all you are going to go if you go into water is water. There is no real real mango is not there. It's only the reflection of the mango. So like that, in this world, you have a sense of happiness you are chasing, but you really never get to that happiness. The best example is we all are looking for that person in our life with whom we can have a perfect relationship. perfect relationship of happiness where there is a reciprocation, there is kindness, there is acceptance, there is love, there is sacrifice, there is well-wishership. All those relationships, we all are hankering for that relationship. We are all hankering for that person in our life. Some people marry 10, 15 times to find that person, but they don't find that person. Why? That person does not exist here. And why that person does not exist over here? Because that person is God. We are missing God's presence in our life. We're trying to fill that with somebody from this world. We're trying to fill that with iPhones and God knows what, right? We're trying to fill, and the void does not get filled. There is enormous vacuum. Once we give up on God, there is enormous vacuum. That vacuum we are trying to fill with बहुत कुछ डाल के देखते हैं. Then we are more dissatisfied. I had a work colleague from Netherlands, and you know, life wisdom. He didn't know Bhagavad Gita, but what he would say, I was able to connect back. He said, you know, these boys and girls, they go around changing partners so much that they get so bored that they come back to the original partner again. I said, okay, sounds like Bhagavad Gita, right? So the whole idea is that if we give up on God, in the first place, we're at fault. Now we're trying to find happiness away from God. It's not going to fly really well. So instead of chasing happiness in the wrong place, have limited expectations from life, limited and necessary. You don't want to be morose and unhappy. You want to have limited expectations. And the moment you limit your expectations from life, now you have suddenly more power to focus on God. You have more time, you have more money, you have more energy, right? And that is the name of the game. Limit the expectations from this life. Unlimited expectations is equal to unlimited problems also, right? So whatever is highest in the spiritual world is irrelevant or useless in this world. So, for example, in Vrindavan, the spiritual Goloka Vrindavan, which is a reflected version over here in Vrindavan, the wealth is not important. It's only the love of Krishna is that is more important. So, money is not important. In the material world, generally money is very important. In the spiritual world, relationship is more important. So it's all ulta. But because there is an illusion of happiness over here, which is a perverted reflection of actual happiness over there. Bhagavad Gita is just saying that stop chasing happiness over here. Your real mangoes are there. Please go and take the real mangoes, the real happiness. The real happiness is when we are actually connected to the real God and we are doing things in relationship with God. Automatically, our future starts to become better and better and better and best. Next. For example, in this world, you can should be assured of one thing: everybody is competing with everybody. Have you heard of sibling rivalry? And children who are born in a very well-to-do family, very healthy, and they have ample of everything in the house also, you will see sibling rivalry. Sibling rivalry means भाई बहन एक दूसरे के साथ झगड़ा कर रहे हैं. Yes, the brothers and sisters are fighting with each other. If that is the situation in a well-cultured, well-to-do family, how much the envy is built into our existence? But that envy started with our envy for God. Because we are envious of God, now we are envious of everybody else also. Because we wanted to hello. Because I need to report to my spiritual teacher. Can I have to? Okay. So the whole idea is that that envy for God we transpose into everybody else. That is why we are so envious. If I get promoted, 10 more people will have like issues. Like, why did so there is a jealousy and there is a envy. Jealousy is you have Ferrari, I also want a Ferrari car. That is jealousy. The envy, next level, why do you have Ferrari? You don't deserve it. Do you understand? So this world is the world full of envy. That is why we are unhappy. Because if you minus all the weaponry in the world, the money spent on the weaponry can easily pay for the food and education and medication.
You say envious of God.
Yeah, we are envious towards God. That is why we came away from God now. Like that son in my story, he was looking at like everybody in the village respects my dad, but I want to be respected. I want that attention. I want those prayers. I want everybody praising me. And to do that, he's separating and saying that I'll start my own village. I'll start my own community. Right? So our fundamental envy for God brought us here, and giving up on that envy and accepting Sab Bhumi Gopal ki. Have you heard of that? Sab Bhumi Gopal ki. Whole land belongs to Gopal. And then what do they add? Meri koti chhod ke. Except my house, everything else belongs to God. No problem. So the whole idea is we talk about Vishwa Bandhutva. We talk about universal brotherhood without identifying who is my father, who is our father. So the problem is we are trying to be happy without God, who is source of happiness, who controls the tap in our heart for happiness. We are saying you go out of the picture. Just like the teenagers will say, "Oh parents, you vacate the house. We want to do party with our friends. You should not be present over here." It's the same problem we're having. We want Krishna to give us all the facilities. We are interested in Krishna's energies, but not Krishna. We want money. Raise your hand if you don't want money. Right? So we want money. We want Lakshmi Devi, but we don't want Narayana. So Narayana is not there in the house, then the Lakshmi Devi becomes very chanchal. She's chanchala. She'll go anywhere. So everybody's worried about future poverty. Will I have in the Americas, there is a phrase that they use that says, either you run out of time or you run out of money. It's in the old age, either you will be broke, you don't have enough money to continue surviving, or you'll run out of time. That means you have money, but you run out of time. Okay, so next. So wherever there is a fake happiness, there is a real happiness also. Wherever there are plastic mangoes, there are real mangoes. Fake dollars, that means there is a real dollar. Awesome. So that means now it's our job to go beyond the perverted reflection and go for the real happiness, real world, and have a paradigm. See, paradigm shift is very important. As long as we keep believing I'm this body, nothing will change actually. But to start living one step at a time, saying that I am this soul. And the starting point for that is the ABCDE formula that I'm going to show you today. How much of that you follow, proportional to that, we are living the life of being a soul. And if we don't want to do any spiritual practices, we are simply living as a body. This knowledge will help understand why I am suffering, but it will not remove the suffering. Do you understand? Now we only know why I'm suffering, but we are still suffering. So we don't want to suffer. So we want to go back to the spiritual world. Next. So what the spiritual world looks like? Advertisement, straight. Right? Yeah, keep going. Every word is a song. Every walk is a dance. Water is like nectar, and all living beings are pure. There is no old age, birth, disease, and death. None of that. That is spiritual world. So now, if you open your Srimad Bhagavatam, if you go to 10th canto, and then you read Krishna Lila, now it will start to make sense. That wow, so this what we see, what we know about Krishna Lila is a reflection or advertisement. So Krishna came 5,000 years back only to give us the advertisement of what it would mean to be in the spiritual world. Like a king goes to the jail to see whom to free up, and the jailmates start thinking, "ये तो इसने भी तो कुछ किया होगा. We landed here because of a crime. He must have also done a crime. If he looks like me, 2 hands, 2 legs, he must be a human being also." But you saw Narsimha movie, right? To kill Hiranyaksha, Lord came as Hiranyaksha. He came as a Varahadev. So when the Lord came in the mood of Varahadev, which is the pig, all the pigs started thinking, God is like me, हम में से एक है. Then Lord came as a horse also. So the horses started thinking, Bhagwan हम में से है. Then what happens? Lord comes in Gujarat. Gujarati start thinking, हम में से है. So the idea is that just because God does leelas, which are familiar to us, like hands and legs, doesn't mean He's one of us. He's beyond this. Okay? So what is important? The envy is present in the material world. The envy is not present in the spiritual world. Here, it is a competition of you serve me. My happiness is important. In the spiritual world, you are important, service to you is important. That is towards Lord. And because everyone is in a concentric circle trying to focus on God, it is very easy. For example, in our family, when we try to go for a spiritual pilgrimage, it is very easy. We know where we are going, we know what we are doing, we know how are we going to enjoy it. Think about now going to a typical vacation, World War III, because one person wants to go here, second person wants to go there, and then there is a conflict of whether to enjoy this way or that way or that way. All four people are looking in four different directions, and that the planning is also not a smooth experience. Forget about actually going over there. Why? Oh, now the God is absent. So because God is missing in the center, now the four souls will try to pull it in the four different directions, proving Bhagavad Gita to be right. Once you learn Bhagavad Gita, every waking up day is just a proving of Bhagavad Gita right again and again and again and again. That is the beauty of spiritual truth. Once you learn it, it becomes obvious in the hindsight. अरे ये तो ऐसे होने वाला है. This is like this only. Okay, next. And the people are not envious of each other. That is very important. Now somebody gave a nice, this is like not from ISKCON, but just a nice example I heard. That one man, he had a chance to go to the Swargaloka and Narakloka and see, choose. So he went over there and he said both places he saw that spoons were big and they were tied to the people's hands. So in the Narakloka, everybody was suffering because they couldn't eat. They couldn't eat for themselves because the spoon is too long and tied the hand. But in the Swargaloka, people were feeding each other. Everybody was feeding each other. So if there's a mood of cooperation and support and service to each other, this whole place can become spiritual in nature. And that is that mini spiritual community that is created by Srila Prabhupada in the name of ISKCON, is a community that is based on the mood of service. Like, imagine this. Gaurav Prabhu wakes up and he drives me whole day from one class to another. And he has to listen to my same old boring class again and again and again and again. And he's still smiling. Because he's in the mood of service. He's not asking me, kya, what, tu kya dega mujhe? No expectation. To make it complete, he brings his that Pushpak Viman, the Tesla that opens, right? And says that, Prabhu, tell me when to come, we will go. Mood of service. The prasadam that we ate, some Matajis, some Prabhus in the Samamish area, they are waking up early to cook for us. And they have not even seen you. But they are trying to serve God, and their service to God reflects into service for us. And we get yummy prasadam to eat in the afternoon. And to transport that, there is a whole team that follows you and begs you, please come, are you coming tomorrow? That is all service. It like a mother serves a child out of love. Like that, if we fall in love with God, we would want to serve God's presence everywhere. We would like to serve God's children everywhere. Right? The other day, we were in the altar doing the Krishna Puja. I was in the altar, and one snail came through flowers on the garland of Krishna. And everybody starts saying, "Ab iska kya karne ka?" Right? So I took a nice paper tissue and I plucked it nicely and left it in the garden carefully. Knowing that, oh, it came all this far, that means now it has a good future. Next life is a human life. Acha ho jayega. So you start to see God's connection and soul's presence in even in a snail. And now you are careful and you are respectful also. I'm not thinking that snail is nothing and all that. And anyway, who knows what is your relationship with Krishna? It might be a temporary thing that you are in that form. Next. Idea is to go back. Idea is to go back where we belong. You remember the example of the fish? The fish out of water, no matter what you give, is not happy. Like that, in this world, people can become billionaires, they're still unhappy. People can marry the best people in the world, they're still unhappy. People might be the heftiest or the healthiest, still they're unhappy. So the whole idea is, no matter what is happening in this world, one thing is guaranteed. This is a but world. Let me spell it. BUT. But world means only if this one thing gets fixed, no, I'll become very happy. This one thing. And then 5 years back, that one thing was something else. 10 years back, that one thing was something else. At Bachpan mein, if we don't get a toy, we cry. Now it is not an issue, right? Then the high school, if we don't get good grades, we will cry. Then as we pass out, if we get one good job, we will not cry. Then if we get married, we will not cry. Then we'll get children, we will not cry. So there is always this one thing, yaar, ek cheez, if I can fix this one thing, that but world mein hum log hai, and everybody chasing that, like you chase your shadow, the shadow keeps moving forward, like that happiness keeps tricking us. Aja, 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 and the whole world is running nicely. Okay, next. Why did the soul came? And this material world is compared to prison. People who are rebellious in this society also, they're separated from us. Well, concentration camp, whatever, the prison or correction house. फिर उठा के उनको अंदर डाल देते हैं. Why? Because they are very naughty, they are misbehaving, they are not following the rules of the society. So for correction purposes, they are given a separate timeout. Like that, we are actually in a timeout condition. Shocking, right? We thought we are the best people around. No. We're the people who have been separated from the spiritual world, put into this material world, only to be corrected so that we can go back. Now, in jail, if you say, oh, all jailmates, please come together, this Kiran Bedi type of experiment, we will improve our jailmates. Or you see that movie called as Do Aakhe Bara Hath. Huh? He takes on challenge, he takes convicted felons, the jailer, and does the experiment of improving them. Nice movie. But it can happen only in a movie. In the real world, when the prison break happens, all the jailmates come out, and do they become saints just because they're free? No, they go havoc in the society. So next, we'll fast track this. Come to the 10 point. Okay. So jail is like material world. We are in this world. And then the jailkeeper is who? Maya Devi or Durga Devi. What is her power? Her power is we feel we are free when we are actually bound by the three gunas. Satoguna, Rajoguna, Tamoguna. We are tired. If we feel like writing poems and drinking milk and eating fruits, we are the Satoguna. But then we are bound by Satoguna. We are bound by Rajoguna. Go make money, be successful. And then we are bound by Tamoguna, laziness. Right? So we are not really free. And jail also gives you food. Here also grains grow in the land. So check by check, you'll see that the jailmates have that special dress code, right? So this human body or even any physical body is a reflection of the uniform in the jail. And then getting released from the jail is like going back to the spiritual world. And laws of state is equal to laws of gods, because in a typical country or state, there are rules. But there are natural rules also, which are laws of God. And the prime minister of the state is God. Means the God can say, okay, chalo wapas. You don't need to be here. Next. Because the soul wanted to be away from God, just like we give dummy kitchen to girls to play, saying that chapati banane ka bana li," right? Safe hai. It will not burn. Nothing. It's a toy kitchen. Like that, my kid, when he was 5 years old, he started vehemently asking in the back of the car, I want to drive. We are driving on freeway in California. Like, no, I want to drive right now. So I said, wait, let me, okay, when we go home, we'll give it to you. No, no, I want it now only. So when The kid wants, the father will buy a dummy car. So I bought him a nice plastic car. Extremely happy. But I had to buy more things to make it real life, lights and horns and sirens. But like that, we are given this separate existence. We came away from spiritual world. We are given this separate existence to see whether we can also become like dad. And super dad means like Godfather. So we are trying to always increase our opulences. We are trying to increase our strength. We are trying to increase our beauty. We are trying to increase our wealth. We are trying to increase our knowledge because we are trying to compete with God. That is our competition going on. We didn't realize we are competing with God, huh? But we are competing with God. Next. Yeah, the fish. No matter what you give, the fish is not happy because all that fish wants is go back in the water. Like that, we also, if we go back in spiritual world, we don't need separate definition of happiness, but we are struggling to be happy out of water, just like this fish, by trying to do whatever the humanity is doing. So now somebody says, hey, there's a musical concert tonight. XY singer is coming. Would you like to join us? It's only $350. And some of us will say, okay, maybe you look happy by going there. I will try. I will also try. First time we went to the concert, what did we do? We experimenting with happiness. Okay, let me go to the pub, try to become happy. Let me go here, let me go Disney, let me go Las Vegas. People are trying all kinds of options to see whether they can become happy, which is the evidence that they're not happy. But then you go to the Las Vegas, you go into the casino, and sometimes we have to go because of the business conferences, and you carefully observe the staff members in those Las Vegas casinos. You carefully observe the people who are playing with the casino, that slots, they're putting money in. You'll find world's most morose people over there actually. They have lost hope in their life, they have lost confidence in themselves, and they are trying to see whether somehow they can get lucky. And I feel like dropping my business conference and starting a DYS class over there, saying that you are not this body. Just take Lord's name, you'll be happy. Right? I'm not allowed in the casino. But and that is why, because the people of the world are so unhappy by definition because we are in the wrong place, people who are spiritually trained, they go out of way to make other people fortunate and connect them back to God. That is called as preaching Bhagavad Gita. Now, if I give you money, it will get over. If I give you clothes, they'll get bad someday. But the spiritual knowledge is forever. And the spiritual gift is the best gift we can give. And that is why when we turn around, receive this knowledge, and give it to our friends and family, you are actually loving them. You are actually giving them what they need, not they want, they want, but they need. So think of how to make other people fortunate also. Yes, ma'am.
So some people ask that, what do you, I mean, have asked me, so how do I answer this question? I can refuse to answer. But I would like to understand that what do you get out of this following this picture? I mean, how can you materially define what
The fish can go back to the water. Is that good enough?
they would say that we are not able to perceive
I would say we are happy with
the being out of the
Then
world.
give them more lifetimes. Give them prasadam.
How-
Preaching is an art. It is not for rookies. Right? Helping new people is an art. And also people are resistant towards God, which gets confirmed by how many people resist coming into the class. Right? For example, that son who separated from the father, until the $10 million got over, he was happy, right? So one has to go through some bounces in life to realize I need God. Until they go through that experience, it is very difficult to convince them that we are fish out of water. And
Somebody's questioning probably that has come to the mind somewhere.
we are always partially there, right? So we can do two simple things to help anybody in the spiritual life. One, give them prasad. Somehow give them prasad to eat. And second thing is pray for them. So you pray saying that, this is such a nice person who helps me every day, but is not able to come to a spiritual class. Oh Lord, I pray for this person so that they can get enough energy to start their spiritual journey. So prayers are powerful.
I want to add something here.
Yeah.
So this was a question that I used to think about,
Mhm.
and the one reason that I stuck to, even after a lot of family experiences where I know people who have been able to stick with the spiritual path till of the same, I always on my own habits. The one thing that struck me is, haven't you noticed that the people who are on the spiritual path, even though they deal with all the life experiences just like we do, they're just so happy. Have you seen it? And I was so confused when I came. I looked at it. I came from Mountain View in California. Their life is like just fast, right? And I used to go to the temple and I see these people serving, and I'm like, they are so happy. They are also doing full time jobs. They have the same problems that we do. Probably worse, right? Sometimes, like, we don't know what's going on in the background, but they're serving and they're happy. And I wondered whether this service attitude was responsible for that that root of happiness. And I think I'm still trying to find that. But yeah, to sum it up, that is what it was. That ability to be able to serve to eventually lead to um, our unison with God is actually the reason why people are on this path, is what I've understood till now.
Yeah, but every soul has a free will given by God.
Yeah.
You have to respect it. If they want to be away from God, God has allowed it, and He created the whole material universe for them to come to that realization on their own. So, be it your children, be it your neighbors, be it your parents, do not try to overtake the free will of other souls, but facilitate it.
Yeah, I just wanted to add the discussion as well.
Mhm.
I mean, the same question comes to me more often. So one thing which I probably try to answer to myself is comparing material world and spiritual world. If I have to answer to someone, is like spiritual world is more safer than the material world. Just as an example, like I may get cheated in the material world. A close unit can cheat me and $1 million, relationships, and so many things. But then if I'm in a spiritual world, what will he take from me? He cannot he cannot take anything of me. So I would be probably be much safer in a spiritual world. I mean, I yet to gain expertise on that. I'm just like to like think through this every time every situation comes to me that I'm much safer. Nobody can cheat in that.
Right. Thank you. So, great points. So, we'll go to the next slide. Just like fish in the water is happy without doing anything, we're happy in the spiritual world, we're doing nothing because we are in the spiritual world and we are a spirit. If I'm a spirit in the material world, think of it like you suddenly go in a state and a place where you don't speak the language. You feel like fish out of water, right? Because you can't connect with the language, you cannot connect to the culture, and it's very awkward experience. And some people are nice to you, but still it doesn't help because you are missing that basic element. Like somebody from south going back to south again and enjoying that dosa and sambar. That's like perfection of life, right? You go back to Gujarat or you go back home and your mommy makes you the same dish that you ate since childhood. That is like perfection of life. So it's like being in your element. Being in your element. So for spirit, it is to be in the element is to be in the spiritual world. Next. Okay. Yeah, we explained the story.
A man had two sons.
We bypassed. I tell the story. Time is short. That was the story, same story I told. Right? And I told you this story also. So next. Ah, what do we study a lot in the Mahabharata and Ramayana and Srimad Bhagavatam? Service. I explained to the billionaire carrying the dog. What is he doing? Serving the dog. But we can turn that around and say, instead of dog, I want to serve God. Oh, now the results are very different. Because when you serve a dog, the dog may still go mad someday and bite you. But if we serve God, then even a small step taken in the right direction can save us from the highest danger. So, service, what are the good examples of service? Hanumanji is the great example. Did he ask anything from Lord Ram ever? Ram, I want holiday today. I want vacation today. Narendra is always ready to serve and go out of it to serve. And like that, we can be in the service mood of I want to serve, I want to serve. Why? Because we saw that a mother is serving a child. We are serving a corporation. We are serving our family members. We are serving people who speak the same language, right? Sometimes you will see people giving classes to retain the language in the USA, the culture, like Gurukul. They're trying to teach Hindi. Or you will see Gujarati classes, Hindi classes, Telugu classes. Why? We're trying to serve the people of the same language. So some people will say, I want to save penguins. So they're serving the penguins. Some people will say, the many LGBTQs in America, they are trying to serve the people in Gaza, saying that freedom, freedom for Gaza. So there is a mood of service. We want to serve someone all the time. There is no time when we are not serving someone. We're always serving someone. Now, whom you choose to serve decides your future. Clear? The president, prime minister, they come to the power by saying, I'm going to serve you all. Sabka saath, sabka vikas. And then if we buy that promise, then that person is prime minister and we are still watching the TV, the person is moving the jet. And it is a good thing. It's nothing bad. But the whole idea is service is the key component of everything. Next. So the service, in the spiritual sense, given to the right person the right way, produces unlimited happiness. But the same service that we offer here in this world actually gives you more troublesome. In other words, you try to do something good, like what to say, you're driving on a highway at night and you find a child crawling on the side of the street. What is the guidance we receive? Don't stop. Don't open the door. Don't try to go see. That might be a bait by some dacoits to get you out of the car, and then you are in trouble. You see, this is material world. You're trying to be a kind-hearted person, trying to see a child crawling on the side of the night road, and that gets you in trouble. That can get you killed, and God knows what. Why? Because we are in the material world. Now, are the countries friend forever? They're only friend as necessary. And their enemy also as necessary. Tomorrow equation change, they're friends again. Greatest example, Taliban and India. Afghanistan and India are best friends. Yeah, we are best friends again. Yeah. So the whole point is there is no eternal friend or foe. The selfishness, self-centeredness is what is serving the material world. As long as you are fulfilling my equation, you are my friend, you are my life partner, you are my relative. Otherwise, I don't care. I move on, I move on, I move on. Right? That's the nature of the material world. The sooner we learn the limited expectations we have from this world, the more limited expectations we have, we are self satisfied and we find satisfaction in something more permanent, which is our relationship with God. Because that perfect person that we are looking for to be in relationship with, so that there is a complete reciprocation, complete trust, complete love, complete safety, complete confidentiality is God. And that perfect relationship we are trying to find in the material world, we are unhappy. Clear? Next. So, yeah, बहुत पकाया. Tell me what to do. Eh? I'm convinced that I want to go back to spiritual world. I'm convinced I am not happy. I'm convinced that I want to do something about it. What do I do today onwards? That is ABCDE for me. By learning to align with God and nature, as taught in the Vedic scriptures, one can have a healthy heart and return back to the spiritual world, which is our original home where eternal society, see, eternal society, friendship, love can be experienced. Everything in the context of the Lord. This is Radha Vrindavan Chandra, that is from Pune, basically. If you go to Pune, please go. Next. What is ABCDE? A for association. Tell me about your 10 friends. I will tell you about you. You understand? If you tell me what your 10 friends do, closest 10 friends, and if you say my 10 friends are partying all night, every night, But I don't, Ganesh. I don't pick up the bottle. Congratulations. But it's only matter of time before you will pick up. Why? Every day you are seeing the same thing. One day says, chalo thoda try karte. Is alcohol very yummy by taste when you drink it for the first time? Still people drink. The power of association. When you are that ambience all the time, then you feel like, अच्छा एक थोड़ा try कर लेते हैं. B for books. There are books available, spiritual books. All we have to do is carry them, open them, and share the books. That's what we are doing, right? We're sharing the books and we're reading the books. Why? Why books are so important? Because when aggressive people take over the civilizations, the first thing they burn is libraries. Because they want to reconfigure you into a new thinking. And that new thinking may not be good for you. So a temple can get destroyed, but books spread into the society, they will survive forever. And one book can again revive the whole civilization. What is a good example of that? The good example is 50 years back from Burma, Burmese ambassador was in the USA and he was walking on the street and some newly converted white hippies, Hare Krishnas, sold a Bhagavad Gita to that person, the Burmese ambassador. The guy never read the book, kept on the library, finished his assignment, went back to Burma. Again, it is sitting in the library. And a very small child that grew up at the age of 16, 18. The son said, I want to study English. Said, let me look in the library if there is a good English book. So he saw the Bhagavad Gita, which was in English. So, in order to improve English, he started reading Bhagavad Gita. And Burma is totally taken over by Buddhism. Temples are lying orphan. Nobody is watching the temples. Nobody's 5 acre big temple. Nobody cares to go also because Buddhism. Let just focus meditation. So this guy started reading the books. He read Bhagavad Gita and it clicked to him. This whole ABCD clicked to him. He said, wow, this is very good. Maza aa raha. Then he started following. Then he started implementing ISKCON in Burma. Like chota center banao, mandir banao, start spreading, start teaching. Whatever we are doing, he started doing that. Then there came a time when people started calling them saying that you guys are running temples so nicely. In our village, there is a 5 acre temple. Nobody's watching. Please take over and run. So temples after temples are being donated to him just like that. Saying that please take over and run. No problem. And in Burma, ISKCON is growing like wildfire. That is the power of the books. So you can always make a pledge today and say that next 1 year, if I'm giving gift to someone for birthday, anniversary, God knows what, we'll give a Bhagavad Gita. $10. But that can change the direction of the humanity. That is the beauty. In Russia, Russia is such an interesting story. Uh, there was this Mataji, her name I know her and she's alive and old. Mandakini Mataji. She's, by background, I think she's from France or something. She was in Paris as a young, nice 18-year-old Hare Krishna. And Srila Prabhupada was visiting, old gentleman. He was visiting Paris and she was praying to Krishna, 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 my spiritual master is coming. I want to follow his orders no matter what. Please give me the strength. Please give me the strength. Oh, Krishna, please give me the strength. And Srila Prabhupada came and gave her one instruction. That instruction is, please go to Russia. Please take my books. And there is a one young gentleman over there. I'll give you his name, phone number. You go and marry him. How many of you are ready if I tell you whom to marry? Like I will decide. X country. That too, communist regime. France is free. Russia is communist. People are trying to scoot out of there 50 years back. And go to Russia and marry that person. That was the instruction. Why? Because when Prabhupada tried to enter Russia for preaching, he was given 1.5 day or 2 day of visa. And then he was given one minder. You know what is a minder? The guy who's always with you to make sure you don't talk to anybody. So he was given this 1 or 2 day visa, and one young boy given as somebody who will mind him from doing anything. All he heard was this guy. So what Srila Prabhupada did, he taught to that guy only Bhagavad Gita. Device. And gave me, said, and Prabhupada didn't have book also, so nothing. Just taught him, got his name and phone number, came to this another student in Paris, and she was praying to Krishna, I want to follow Srila Prabhupada's order. And Prabhupada's order is go to Russia and marry this person. And she's like, I just prayed that I should be able to follow my spiritual master's order. So, okay, I am going. And she packed her bags, sat in the train going to Russia, carrying the spiritual books. If you carry spiritual books into Russia at that time, communism is all about being and no God. So if you carry spiritual books into Russia, you go to jail. Jail is not ordinary. It is a labor camp. They'll make you work hard till you die in the Siberia and all that. There is a book written by Hare Krishna in Russia called as Salted Bread. You should read that book to understand the kind of sufferings Hare Krishna has accepted just to be a Hare Krishna. Here we are sitting in the fabulous classroom with fabulous weather, fabulous prasadam, and high-paying jobs and UW kind of environment. We don't realize what does it mean to be a Hare Krishna. But in Russia, no spirituality was allowed 50 years back. And that is where this girl is walking into the line of fire alone with a bag full of spiritual books. And as she started making friendship in the train with people around her, because she knows at the border she'll get caught. She has faith in her spiritual master, but she has also fear that I'm going to get caught and I'm going to jail. And that is where she spoke to the guy next to her. And he was an ambassador from another country in Europe. She said, look, you are a diplomat. Your bags don't get checked. Can I put my spiritual books in your bag and you take into the Russia and give it back to me as we cross? And he said, that's fine. I'm a diplomat. I don't get checked. I don't go to jail. I'll help you. So she put all her spiritual books into Bhagavad Gita and basic books into his box. And then she went through that checkpoint, got the books back, met with that person, got married, and then together they started preaching Bhagavad Gita in Russia. They're the only two people. And it got like a wildfire in Russia. Hare Krishna camp started growing, underground movement. China, underground movement. And people are printing secretly and they would go and distribute. And if you're interested, come on in. Then think of like this class becomes a illegal class. Where if you come over here and the police raid, then you go to jail. How is that? But people are doing that. And now there are like thousands and thousands and thousands of people, Hare Krishnas in Russia, and they have their temples, and it's a vibrant community. And anytime on the internet, you see very nicely decorated ladies, white ladies, dancing very elegantly. Typically, it is from Russia or Ukraine. And the countries are fighting, but the Hare Krishnas are united. They are helping each other. That is the story of Russia, started with one book walking into Russia. That is the power of the books. These books are not ordinary, they are spiritual. And that is why what you got, you have not gotten what you got. The value of what you have gotten. That is not received yet. So just understand the power of these books. Country by country, we can explain the miracles happened before that country became a Hare Krishna place. It is not ordinary. Try to preach to your own kid, come to the temple, they'll say no. So that means we know that it is very difficult to convince people. But it happens by the power of the God, and God will reveal his power to the people who are surrendered. And Krishna likes to play Bansuri that is hollow. If I have ego, I cannot be Krishna's flute. I cannot preach. So I need to be hollow from inside, not to have this, oh, I'm so great and all that. So books, see for chanting. We have gone through a whole session on that. So please enjoy chanting. It is spiritual vibration the soul needs badly. If we deprive our soul from chanting, that's the biggest disservice to ourselves. So please take that seriously. In Marathi, Santa Tukaram Maharaj says, Nav gheta rahu naka. What he means is, don't stop chanting. What? He's not saying we chant. Chant forever. Don't stop chanting. So you can chant 24/7 also. So chanting. And then D for diet, they're inviting us for this. We should tell them the picture looks like this, we wanted something like that. Right? The cooking team. But the whole idea is how diet becomes a spiritual service. First thing is we skip bad food. We accept only healthy, fresh, organic if possible. So the process is like this because it's all about service. You go to the market, you say, I'm going to buy the best fruits possible. I'm going to buy the best vegetables possible because I'm going to offer it to the Lord. Krishna in Bhagavad Gita says, Patram, Pushpam, Phalam, Toyam. Patram, leaves, Pushpam, flowers. Then, Patram, Pushpam, Phalam, Toyam. Toyam means water. So this flower, fruits, water, simple things Krishna is asking. He could be asking for diamonds and rubies and all that. But these are perishable items. So what do perishable items do? We need them again and again. Why Krishna wants perishable items from us? Because he wants us. He doesn't want those things. He's enjoying the mood in the food. Is every mother a good cook? Is it even possible? But the children love because they are tasting the mood in which the food is made. Grandma's cookies. Why those brands like Grandma's cookies? It is the love that matters. So, after 8 years of getting married, the husband exactly starts to think like a wife. Have you noticed? Because whatever the wife is thinking while cooking is going into the food, and the husband starts to align like anything. So, in due time,
I
So-
don't think it takes 8 years, but
Yes, sir.
depends on how intensely she's thinking while cooking. It's a science if used correctly. So the people who make prasadam also were supposed to think of Krishna, think of God, feel the gratitude, and that is where it is important to have a diet that is Krishna conscious diet. That means food that is offered in good mood to Krishna. What offered to Krishna is bhoga. What comes back is prasada. Prasada. Prabhu ke sakshat darshan. Right? The food is spiritualized. It gets mixed up again in the main food content. And then basically what happens? That gets distributed. Now the soul starts to align with God just by eating the food. So if we make that as 100%, we are always eating that, that is also spiritual progress. Great progress. If you go to Jagannath Puri, enormous kitchen running day and night only making prasadam for Jagannath. And that is service. Right? And then engagement. Oh, you got good food. You have read all the books. By you're taking darshan of the Lord, you feel the happiness. What do I do now? Well, if you're happy, you like to sing, you like to dance, right? You like to talk to people, you like to go out and do something. That is the engagement part. And that engagement part is where we do activities that will help us and the humanity in the direction of God. That is service again. And in 18th chapter, Krishna says, I am very happy with those people who are discussing about me with others in a positive way. So, Krishna Katha, when discussed, it is helping me, it is helping you, and it is helping the ambience. If there are trees and plants listening, it is helping them also. When you are chanting, chant it in your backyard, all your grass is also getting purified, all your trees are getting purified. They are getting the well deserved opportunity to go back. Right? When we offer a flower to the Lord, that tree gets a human life because it did the sacrifice of offering the flower to the Lord. That is why ISKCON offers so many flowers. Because that is a service to the trees. You understand? So we are trying to help not only human beings, we are trying to help anything that is living. कुछ नहीं मिला एक पत्ता भगवान को अर्पण कर दो. There are people in Prabhupada times, the young hippie Hare Krishnas, and there is nobody more enthusiastic than new converts. So they would go and take with a photo to the gardens and offer the whole apple garden to Krishna. Saying, Krishna, I offer you this whole apple garden. So that those trees, they get spiritual benefit, and the apples are eaten by people, they should get Krishna benefits. So it's a very, very easy process. If you want to follow, helping others is also very easy. Like you go to office, right? Make some nice cookies and feed it to people. Right? Keep it on your desk. Whoever comes and eats, they're getting benefited. At least their first prasadam in their life. Anybody who touches the Prabhupada books, anybody who appreciates the message, anybody who appreciates the prasadam, their spiritual life is started. What does it mean that the spiritual life is started? That means they will not get the animal body, they will not get the hellish life that was due or overdue. They'll get another human life so that they have an extended runway to catch up with their spiritual life. Isn't it powerful? So now, para upakar, we are in the business of helping others become fortunate. Also, in the process, we also become fortunate because Krishna pours in more and more conviction and happiness in our heart also. And it becomes a chain reaction. It becomes explosive in due time. Okay, next. What is the power of prasadam? I will give you that. One black previous slide. Harivilas Maharaj, who is our local authority over here, he spent 50 years in ISKCON, more than 50, out of which around 25-30 he spent only in Seattle. He has built 2 temples. Third temple is coming up tomorrow in Linwood. If you live in that area, please let me know. We can share you the invite. And his desire is to have one more temple at least, one more or two more temples. But the whole idea is he's a white American, Armenian body, no connection with India. And once he found Bhagavad Gita, he said, I will die, but I will not go back to my old habits. That was the conviction. And if you read his Bhagavad Gita, the book is supposed to be this thick. It has become this thick because by continuously opening, the binding is almost coming off. And there's no place on the book where he has not taken notes of interconnecting the slokas. That's the power of. Now, this Harilas Maharaj, when he was young, not very young, but experienced Hare Krishna, he would go in the gardens of San Francisco, and the homeless, which are like, tuned out, he would drop little prasadam in their mouth. And like that, one homeless, after giving him months of prasadam, little bit in his mouth, when he is out, zoned out, he starts to feel normal. And then there came a time when he started sitting up and eating. Then there came a time he said, who are you? Can I come to your temple? And you want to come to the temple? Harivilas Maharaj gave him money, saying that, go to that Sulabh Shauchalaya or whatever is the local version of that. Go take a paid bathroom where there is a shower, there is a cleanup, take this money to wear clothes, then you come into the temple. He followed all that and he came to the temple clean shaved. Then said, can I stay in the temple? I know your habits, so no. You stay outside for a few days and months. I'll give you money to stay outside and you keep visiting the temple to see how you get benefited. And then he continued like that. Then he joined the temple in due time. And then one Mr. Kannan, he was visiting from Seattle to Vrindavan. In Vrindavan, there came a very enthusiastic white guy who said, take Bhagavad Gita, purify your life, this, that, wow, okay. And Kannan said, I have Bhagavad Gita at home, but who are you, what are you? And he started asking, from where you are? He said, I'm from Seattle. Oh, Seattle. Please give my respects to Harivilas Maharaj. So, how do you know Harivilas Maharaj? Then he said, I was that homeless who was zoned out, tuned out for weeks and days, would not take shower for 6 months. Harivilas Maharaj started dropping the pinch of prasadam in my mouth. And now he's doing Nirjala Ekadashi, wearing saffron, not getting married, and only distributing books in Vrindavan, in India for the rest of his life. That is the miracle transformation. We know firsthand. We have seen it. And when this Mr. Kannan came back to Seattle, he asked Harivilas Maharaj, Maharaj, one person we met, he said like this, ha ha ha, yes, I used to put little prasadam in his mouth. That is why in Seattle temple, we have distributed in last 20 years more than million plates in prasadam. Million. Can you imagine? Each one of this plate outside will cost at least $8, $10. But give it incessant. When Harivilas Maharaj took over this temple, the temple was in trouble, the deities were to be moved, the congregation was saying, we'll go somewhere else, we are not able to run this place. Harivilas Maharaj said, we will close this temple on my dead body. So he was like that leader who'll say, we'll make this happen. And then people said, why are you giving out food for free? We'll go bankrupt. He said, Krishna is the provider. We will not go bankrupt. And actually, miracle happened in front of my eyes. I'm there last 20 years. We are not short on anything. We don't need anything. Krishna is providing. All we have to do is A, B, C, D, E. No shortages. Next. So we know the power of association. We don't need a lot of discussion. If you see suddenly your friends are in the wrong company, you'll call them out, say that, hey boy, you are in the wrong company, your future is danger, right? Like that. Next. And if you watch Narsimha movie, then you will see Prahlad Maharaj purifying his friends with his association. Books explain that also, how Burma, Russia got revived. Next. Let's go to chanting. Chanting, whole session we have spent on that. Can you say we'll do at least one mala every day? Raise your hand. Just one mala. 7 minutes, nothing. Thank you. Next. Diet. I explained the power of prasadam. In San Francisco, a hippie not taking shower for a year becomes a monk who is doing Nirjala Ekadashi and whole day distributing only books, living in Vrindavan in India forever. What a transformation, right? The next. Wow, yummy. Next. So we now all this power you have received, you have to do something. And that if you are a warrior like Arjuna, you fight. Right? A squirrel came and helped Lord Ram to build a bridge. We need to find our own part. Whether we are Hanuman or squirrel, that God decides where we are. But our job is to find our service. So small services give you big benefits. Like when we came in, Drashti helped us organize the whole room and Gaurav. Right? Small things. When we are leaving the room, make sure the tables are clean. UW is not charging us extra charges for leaving this unclean. You see people carrying boxes, some of them are directors and senior directors and all that. They're carrying these boxes. Offer a helping hand. "Arey, can I help you a little bit? I can take you to the car." That much we can do. It's just reciprocation. But we cannot pay it backward enough. We're receiving so much valuable, we cannot pay it backward, so we have to pay it forward. That means now you start to talk to other people to make them more fortunate. When there's a next device class, at least try to bring 2, 3 friends who trust you in decades of your life. Maybe you have earned enough of 2, 3 friends who will listen to you and say, I will give you my 15 hours of my life to listen to what you want me to listen to. Right? So next. So anyone can do everything that they like to do, but just now with the mood of pleasing Krishna. That's the whole idea. I want to do something that is pleasing to Krishna. Why? By offering my natural talents to make other people fortunate also. Because what is the point if only I get liberated and I leave all these people behind me without helping them? Is that a good scene? No. But take 1,000 people with you. That is more fun, right? Next. We'll pass this. Okay, summary. So this is what we learned. So we will just stop sharing or show some nice picture. We will take the reflections. What did we learn? What did touch my heart? Are you ready? Okay. So are you able to see the camera, bro? The room. There's some panga. I can only see the screen, but I cannot see camera. Yeah, okay, now I can. Thank you. All right. Who wants to go next? Reflections of all classes or at least today's class? Because if you catch on to A, B, C, D, I think you're good. Okay. So yes, Bodhi Mataji want to start.
I would like to start with, I guess, today's class with respect to the illusion of um, the body that we have been given and the power or connection of the soul with understanding that is actually what our reality is. However, the reality actually sits within the soul's connection with Krishna, which is of service to Krishna. And that's something that I think is one of the most important things to understand and remember, that this life has been given as an opportunity for us to serve Krishna in whatever way we can. And of course, the concept of ABCD is a good practical guidance mechanism for us to move on towards our spiritual journey in whatever small way we can. So that I think is very beautiful. And then overall, with respect to all the classes that we've attended, the true essence of how, when I entered this class, I always wondered what is the purpose of life and searching for happiness, right? That's something that all of us are looking for. And the fact that all of us are actually part of Krishna already, and Krishna is already sitting within us, is something that we need to keep reminding us with association, chanting, reading the right things, eating the right things. So yeah, that is the most beautiful thing that you need to be reminded of, and I'm very grateful and thankful for having the opportunity to learn this.
Very nice reflection. Please give her a big hand. Okay. Yeah. Rashti Mataji.
I thoroughly enjoyed the whole session as well as the whole course. The reflection I take away from all the classes, combined, including this one, is it was before it was more like I did this happened to me, I did that, this happened, like somebody caused me this, but it was never I. I gave myself too much of credit. It is always Krishna. You, me, everyone are here because of Krishna. And it felt like overall I am just a zero without him. It is Krishna who is making me do certain things, or it is Krishna who is holding my hand. To all the problems, the solution is right there. I just have to practice it. So that's the takeaway.
Very nice. Thank you, Drashti. Give her a very nice big hand. See, it's also the congratulations for attending all the sessions so nicely. So, congratulations and congratulations. Yes.
Hare Krishna.
Say your name again.
Neha.
Neha.
So I want to start by saying that I took this course 4 years ago. For some reason, it was in between that I left the class, and today I'm completing this course. They taught me ABCD. I did not know E. I did not like that class.
Okay.
Yes. I joined here to find association of devotees, but I feel now I have a purpose also. And also, you started this course by saying every question would be answered, and I think today all my questions are answered. Yeah. Thank you, Prabhuji, for it.
Very nice. Please give Neha a big hand. Congratulations, sir.
So I have
What's your name?
Mridul. I'm Mridul. So my reflection for today, it is a reflection to the Bhagavad Gita, that the teachings actually change life, and the stories which you told us, they give us power to practice the spiritual disciplines.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for joining us. Please give him a big hand. Mr. Rohan.
Yeah, so for me, first of all, I would like to thank you and everyone who is involved in making this course. I don't think like I can thank enough, and the only way I can give back is like engage in it and help further. And the reflections, yeah, for me was like following this ABCD to get the purpose of the life.
Very nice. Rohan, thank you. Thank you for attending all sessions. Thank you for joining. And yes.
Hi, I'm Omsai. So actually, this is my second class. I got associated with Abhinav, and he asked me to like please join the class. initially I was not interested, but later I don't know, somehow, luckily I got interested at some point, and I was like, I'll join this class. The last class I joined in this second class. Thank you, Abhinav, for that. And thank you for connecting these classes and all. It was really refreshing. So coming to the reflection from this class, today's class, so I got some of my questions got answered. I used to be unhappy for everything. Uh, like whatever I decide, like those. I got those things. Good job, money, everything, health, everything I got. But irrespective of everything I got, I was unhappy. So the real reason is like desiring for new things, expectations, comparison, comparing other people. So yeah, it's the thing that everyone does. So instead of like comparing and expecting more and more and more, like it's better you do good and do seva for God, preach good, you know, um, yeah, have gratitude, be grateful for your life. Yeah. Ultimately, yeah, the difference between the materialistic world and the spiritual world is to like, yeah, don't get attached to the materialistic things and yeah, save for God. Yeah, it's like,
Thank you so much. Abhinav Prabhu.
Hi, yeah, first off, I just want to thank you, bro, for all the sessions. I can practically see in my life, like just showing up one on Saturday and attending these classes, like has had a positive impact on me. And uh, even like all the content course is like so relevant and important for our everyday life. I think it's very valuable information. Uh, so today's class, so much information, good information, I can still kind of processing it. But a couple of points which struck with me were one was you were mentioning how like we have a vacuum in our life. We have kept God aside, and because we have done that, there's a vacuum, and we're trying to fill that vacuum with so many things, and we are not satisfied with what we have. That was, and then I also really liked hearing about the different. You gave so many examples of how like this has transformed lives, and even the example of, for example, the books for Russia. Yeah, it's very inspiring to hear such stories.
Thank you so much, Abhinav Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Okay. I think everybody said a lot of things. I think I will also say like just one or two things. Is one from today. I think when you said um, about Nilandina asked the question about, and then you said about you need they give them many more lives, and then you also talked about you know plant now becoming human. I was like, first I was thinking, yeah, many more lives. Okay. Then I thought, what I was, if I was born in a place where I didn't want to. So,
That's a good one.
so I was like, yeah, you can't take that chance. So you have to get. So I think that is what I was thinking. And I mean, so just that thing from today's class, but also thank you to you and thank you for this institution to conduct this and doing it without any expectation, doing it with just for us was very like unbelievable in start, but I think this was something that you all did, and also I got to learn a lot and think about different things in these aspects. I still have a lot of questions because um, I mean, the free will and not free will is not something that is very clear to me. So, but I think those are great openings that I want to explore through books if possible, whenever possible. I don't do big books, but I'll try more now, is all I can say. So, thank you so much for you and ISKCON to conduct this and give us this opportunity.
Very nice. Please give a big hand. Throughout all sessions nicely.
Hare Krishna, I am Nilanjana. So I'll start with today's session. first. Um, I always, I mean, there was always a confusion in trying to understand how does the Atma connect with the Paramatma. But I don't know, something just happened today and I realized about the spiritual self that you said. So that is the exact connect that we need to make. So that was like a huge revelation to me in today's class specifically. And the second thing that you mentioned about Krishna using a hollow bansi to play, Vasuri to play. So I think that has huge implications. I think that humility, which is so much required, so that is a lesson for me. And I think throughout the weeks that we have come here, throughout the classes that we've attended, that humility and the love, the seva bhav and the bhakti that we come across, all of you here, and in your teachings in this class, uh, I think it also somehow leaves an imprint on you, I mean, on me as an individual. Something also gets transmitted. That's what I felt. So I'm like immensely, from the core of my heart, very, very thankful to you, our Guruji, because you have conducted this session, this entire class for us, and of course for entire ISKCON. And very fortunately, it was on the day of Janmashtami that we just somehow ended up in the mandir. And there was no plan. It was a weekend, so we just went. We were looking for more Indian community, and it was a miracle. It transmitted into this, and I look forward to the class, to the future classes, also the next course and the next onward. And I pray to Krishna that some sense of bhakti and seva also gets more and more transmitted.
Very nice. Thank you so much, Nilajana Mataji.
Hare Krishna. My name is Sachin. So I also echoed in Naji, is that like somehow we happened to be on the Janmashtami day in the temple, in the mandir, standing in the line to get into, and I think Chandu Prabhuji was there, showing us the flyer, and we got added to that massive WhatsApp group. And we don't know like how it will go from here. But we are fortunate that we happen to be here in the Maple Hall, the University of Seattle, and learning the class from you. It was great to be here, all these classes, and the entire team was great. And we're looking forward for the next levels too, from here on. I'm like very curious now, like what's the next level entails to us. Regarding the reflection, it was great class. The entire close summit, sum up great today. One is like the acknowledging of the difference between material world and the spiritual world, and why spiritual world is so better. And one I already shared earlier, that it is so safe. Another I always like think now, I think through now is like probably people are not envy of each other in the spiritual world. Like if we have people may envy me if I'm holding a certain position in my company, holding $1 million or Tesla or something like that. But if you have obtained the God, I may not be envied to you. Like, oh, you have obtained the God, but I haven't. But I just have to go on to that part to obtain the God. So that is one difference I'll probably try to like see through when the situations arise like this. And one is like the sincere promise to myself is like to follow the ABCD formula everywhere in life, everywhere, and probably preach others as well. Maybe if I can demonstrate myself, the improvements in myself to others, and that's how they will probably follow the path sooner. So, yeah.
Very nice. Big applause to Sachin Prabhu. Now we have the man of the match, Mr. Gaurav Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, great lecture, great series. I think
Carry on.
one of the reflection is, I think the thing that we learned from today was this material world is a reflection of the spiritual world. So whatever we see here is basically a perverted reflection. So if we see a fake money, there is a real money that exists. Then similar way, if we say some happiness, which is we are trying to catch, but we are not able to catch. So that fake happiness, if it exists here, the real happiness exists in the spiritual world. So we should be hankering after that. And ABCD is a great way to achieve that.
Hare Krishna. Very nice. So we have the sheets. We have a 5-minute prayer we are going to do, which is called as Damodara Ashtakam. which is the hallmark of ISKCON in the month of Damodar. Can you distribute the? We need volunteers to distribute. A couple of people can come forward. Okay, thank you. See, E for engagement. So these are beautiful prayers of Krishna, baby Krishna, running. Baby Krishna running away from his mom. And, I think, is somebody good with the camera? I'll let them hold the camera. Gaurav Prabhu? Or, just place it in a place where it can record nicely. The screen should get recorded. Anyway, everybody got that? Okay. So, the pitch story, we are really for that. Krishna is sleeping on his mother's lap. Mom is feeding Vatsalya, mother's milk. And suddenly what happens? In the spiritual world, everything is alive. So she has to put some milk for boiling on the surface. That milk is made from very special grass, very special towers. And that makes us thinking that Krishna is drinking milk from Mother Yashoda. Mother Yashoda is feeding milk to Krishna. There's no way I can compete with Mother Yashoda's milk, which is her love for Krishna. And Krishna can drink unlimited milk and she can feed unlimited milk because spiritual personality, right? If there's no engagement in my life, what is the purpose of my life? If Krishna is not going to drink me, let me commit suicide by jumping into the fire that is supposed to warm me up for Krishna. So the milk starts to boil up to go into that fire. Mother Yashoda says this, hey, please, no suicide. So she quickly puts Krishna on the side and runs to remove the heat from the fire. Krishna can handle affection. Krishna can handle envy. You are not him, Shishupal, hallucinating bad things. I'm sorry saying demons. As long as you give attention, Krishna is okay. Ignore Krishna, Krishna is okay. Like my mom put me down to go to that milk, he was not happy. So he got down and walked up into the next room where there was best of the best butter pots ready. And he took some sticks and he broke all the butter pots and fed that butter to the monkeys. Why? Because he said, when I came as Lord Rama, you monkeys served so nicely, but I didn't do much seva that day. So this best of the best of the best milk and the best of the best of the butter, I'm going to feed you by own hands. But the third, when they saw Yashoda came looking for Krishna, and he had broken on the pots, there were fingerprints or footprints of where he went, and Mother Yashoda saw he's distributing this. So she started running after him. Because one thing with the expression Krishna realized and he started running. Mother Yashoda is chasing after him. And the flowers in the head of Mother Yashoda said, maybe my weight is causing Yashoda to become heavier. So they jumped off while she was running to make her lighter to catch Krishna. And when she got hold of Krishna finally, she said, I will tie you down because you naughty boy. I made so much of butter for you and you broke it and fed it to monkeys. And the beauty is, she had a rope, she tried to tie it to Krishna, it was 2 inches short. Then, okay, I want to this the background of course, if you want to sit there.
Okay.
So the beauty is, it was 2 inches short. So she got more ropes in the house to tie Krishna. After tying all the ropes, it was 2 inches short to tie. Then the village ladies, the gopis, they learned that Yashoda is tying Krishna. It became the festival of ropes. And everybody started bringing ropes from their house. And they're all tying, giving to Yashoda. Yashoda is tying the rope. She's perspiring by running around that. And it is 2 inches short. So then Radharani gave a rope. Finally, Yashoda was able to tie Krishna to that mortar. Right? Or, yeah, this one over. Right? Finally, she was able to tie him and she left him holding it like that. And Krishna said, okay, now what do I do? I have other services to do. So in the Swargaloka, there were Kuvera's sons, Nala Kuvera, they were the 2 sons, 2 brothers. Once they were kind of doing their party, Swarga is a party place, please understand. It's not a spiritual place. And just by attending these classes, you have qualified to go to Swarga if you want. But we don't want Swarga, we want to go back to the spiritual world. Swarga is still in this world. So they were doing party with their friends and they were not wearing clothes. And Narad Muni was passing by. And when Narad Muni, when he came, the girls, the Swargaloka girls, so Apsaras, they immediately covered themselves and they stood respectfully. And these Nala Kuvera, they had taken the Somarasa in the Swargaloka, which is why over there. And they were telling, they're in their own world. So, because they were not respectful, even when Narad Muni came, and they were standing without clothes like this, looking like what you want to do type. So Narad Muni gave them a curse, and the curse was, you'll be born like trees. Because you're not wearing clothes, you're disrespectful. So now we know in Washington why so many trees. Huh? Tree is a future life if we don't like to wear decent clothes. It's fact. As per Bhagavad Gita, as per Nala. And they were, pure devotees, even when they curse you, that is good for you. The Nala Kuvera were born directly in the backyard of Nanda Maharaj, Krishna. And Krishna wanted to liberate them. So he started running that okla, crawling between the trees broke. They freed up. The trees, they thanked. Thank you for liberating us, Lord. And they went back. So Krishna achieved multiple things in the same process. He served the monkeys, he liberated the Devata. And the evening time, Nanda Maharaj came. Nanda Maharaj said, what happened? Balaramji came. Balaramji came, brother. Mother Yashoda, do you know what you're doing? Do you know who is this Krishna? He is the source of everything. Everything emanates from him. He runs his whole material universe by the fragment of the energy. Held at the 7th chapter of Bhagavad Gita by Isma. So, and Yashoda said, then who are you? He said, me? I am the Ananta Shinsha. I hold all the planets in the orbit. World is running because of me. Yashoda said, all the incarnation had to come to my home only. Huh? You want to run or shall I tie you also? He said, no, I will learn. Right? Please understand the difference between Leela and Siddhanta. By Siddhanta, Krishna is the source of everything. By Leela, when there is a lightning, Tufan and lightning, he will hide under Mother Yashoda. By Leela, he is scared. But by Siddhanta, he is the source of the light also. Right? So Leela and Siddhanta, please understand. So in this Leela, Yashoda Maya says, all incarnations in my home only. Right? Evening, Nanda Maharaj came and said, what is this? Where is Krishna? And Krishna is like suddenly very morose. Like, And so he immediately rescued Krishna. And then he jumped on Nanda Maharaj. That Baba, today onwards, only you. No Mama. But Nanda Maharaj saying, but who will feed you? You, Baba. You feed you. And who will put you to sleep? You, Baba. You put me to sleep. And who will play with? You, Baba. You play with. I'm never going to talk to Mother Yashoda. Or Mother Yashoda, it was a devastating moment. She was like, I will commit suicide. No, he says, your mother will die without you. Oh, my mother will die without me? And Krishna jumped from Baba's lap again and he ran back to the Mother Yashoda. And Yashoda is crying, Krishna is crying. That is the standard of motherhood by Vedic culture. Compare that with millions of abortions that happen around the world in Korea. That is where we have come to. From being Mother Yashoda to being the killer of our own children, that is the status of the humanity. We need spirituality badly. Science is progressing, humanity is not. And this is our chance. This is our chance. The more you think of helping others, we will be helped. So we'll do a very small prayer, which we do in ISKCON temple morning and evening in Damodar month, which is the month of Kartik, most auspicious month, very dear to Radharani. And we'll do it together or we'll do lead and follow. Lead and follow is better so that we can follow. So I have an introduction. Yeah. Okay. Nama Vishwa. Okay, we'll go together. Nama Vishwa. Oh, we have maps?
I just have.
Okay, we will go volunteer, please use these LED lamps. Please just do it. Right, all you have to do like this, while you're doing 47 times in going up, more is short. Nama Vishwaram Sachidananda
Gokule Rajamanam Yashoda Vyodupaladavamanam Parameshamatantadodukagopya Idvitam Purnetram Yugam Nijantam Param Bodhayukmena Shatakanidram Mohostum Patri Rekapatanta Srita Vedamodaram Tibadam Salila Vedananda Kunde Swakosham Limachantam Akrapayantam Tadiyeshu Tadeshu Bhaktitatvam Pura Prematastam Shatavriti Mande Varam Deva Moksham Na Moksham Vadibha Nachanam Rineham Varishadapiha Idam Deva Purnatha Gopala Balam Sada Me Manasya Virastakimane Idam Deva Kamboja Atyantanile Ram Kundale Snigdara Tashamokya Bhūtam Shubhitam Bimbaratam Me Manascha Virastam Alam Lakshaname Damodara Vishnu Prasidha Prabodhika Jatadimatnam Kripa Drishti Vishnati Dina Batani Luhane Shamamadra Yakshirisha Uveratmaja Bhadra Yadatta Tvaya Mochita Bhakta Vihaja Vithacha Tata Prema Bhakti Swakam Viprayacha Namo Shankara Me Sri Damodareha Namaste Studamne Spuradikti Dhamne Tvadiyodaraya Vishwasadamne Namo Radhikaya Tvadiya Priyaya Namo Nandadinaya Devaya Tudam Namo Radhikaya Tvadiya Priyaya Namo Nandadinaya Devaya Tudam Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. So I'm very grateful for you making time. I'm very grateful for you allowing me to speak Krishna Katha. I'm very grateful for allowing us to do what is very dear to Krishna, which is Krishna Katha. Right? So with that, I would say I have given you all the weapons to go back to the spiritual world. Please take a second, pray for me also. Many prayers. Yes, we survive on each other's prayers. That is how it is. So we'll go take prasadam, and from there, then while eating, if you have any questions, I will answer. Viraja Krupa Prabhu or somebody will come and talk to us about the next steps, which is basically changing the room. Yes? Hare Krishna. Thank you so much.